Hey, we're live.
Hey, everybody.
And we have special guest. Special guest. I didn't even put it on the thumbnail, but hey, we got a special guest. I wasn't sure
Surprise.
if he was really committed to coming back here with us, but hey, we're here. All right, guys. I hope everybody's having a good time. Mr. Great Shot, I'm about to tell you what we're going to be sipping on. Tonight is about the difference between wheated bourbons and bourbons without actually any wheat in them at all. And we're going to see about the notes that you get across the board. And I was telling Joe ahead of the show that a lot of the notes that we recognize and we think of as bourbon are actually the wood sugars coming out in that charred oak barrel. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to shock our palates with Bernheim. It's 100% wheat. That is the Kentucky Straight Wheat Whiskey. That's what that is. And we're going to follow the Bernheim with 1792 sweet wheat. So I don't know the exact mash bill on this, but it is corn and a lot of wheat. And then after that, we are going to juxtapose that with Rabbit Hole High Gold because it is 70% corn, 25% malted rye, and 5% malted barley. There is zero wheat in this. So we're going to be isolating those wheat notes, and then we will get to compare what we're getting out of all of these, and then you'll know what just comes from the wood. You know, because if you're getting same notes out of Bernheim and Rabbit, they don't have any of the same grains together. None. Zero. So you'll get to see what the wood does to it. All right. So the way we've poured these up is I poured the Bernheim Original in regular Glencairn glasses with the tiny little base on them. I poured the 1792 Sweet Wheat in my typical snifter with no Bourbon Bounty logo. And I poured the Rabbit Hole High Gold in my regular snifter with the Bourbon Bounty etched, acid etched logo on it. Each one of us has a Glencairn, a plain snifter, and a Bourbon Bounty logo snifter. And that's the order is Bernheim, Sweet Wheat, Rabbit Hole. So we'll start off with the 100% wheat.
This is the one that's going to knock my socks off.
It's not going to knock your socks off. I mean, it's
mild.
good. It is really mild. Let me go over to this Bernheim is a small batch. It's 45%, so 90 proof. Okay.
Okay.
So it's down below 100. The sweet wheat here is 45.6, so 91.2 proof. And we're kind of stepping just barely above. And then the Rabbit Hole is 95 proof. It's 47.5%. So it'll be the strongest one, ethanol wise, alcohol wise. Now, when we sniff, I know we kind of had these up to our noses earlier, and the vanilla, it's coming through pretty strong. To get the wheat notes, you have to get past those wood sugars, and that's where we were talking about getting a pretzel note and things like that. Fresh baked bread. All right. Oh, the legs on it, pretty decent, by the way, for a straight wheat, bourbon or whiskey.
Can't call it bourbon.
Because it's not, it doesn't have any corn in it. Now, very soft on the palate. It is kind of sweet. It is, wheated bourbons tend to be a little sweet. I don't have a lot of them. The most famous wheated bourbons are the Wellers to Antique to Pappy Van Winkles and all that. Those are wheated bourbons. Larceny is actually a wheated bourbon. The Maker's Mark is a wheated bourbon. Okay. But the 1792 Sweet Wheat, in my opinion, is one of my favorite wheated bourbons I have on my shelf. Very hard to get. So I don't want to make anybody like jealous or anything. What's up, RB? But I got lucky and I got my hands on a bottle of Sweet Wheat. I actually got an email notification. What's up, Shark? From a store And she said, I've got sweet wheat. I'll hold it for you for 24 hours. Can you get here? And I went and grabbed the bottle of it.
That was in California that she was.
No.
Get here in 24 hours and I'll give it to you.
I tell you, I don't know what I'm getting out of that is wood.
Yeah, you're going to get the wood notes. I mean, wheat is a very, very soft
Yeah.
note.
Makes good bread too.
Yeah, but it is the softest note.
Is this gluten free?
So rye is going to be one of the stronger notes you get with the peppers and the allspice and the cinnamon and all of that. Usually comes from different strains of rye. Malted barley tends to give you a nutty note to it, and we're not getting nutty notes out of this. These aren't here in this one. These nuts. Yeah.
See them old cowboys on them shows coming in there eating steak and drinking whiskey. Now this is one you could drink with a steak.
Yeah, you would
It's
lose.
mild.
It
really.
is
is
mild.
mild, yeah.
Yeah, you would lose the flavor of it. Whatever.
Lose the flavor of the brandy, right? I mean, the bourbon, right?
Yeah,
Steak would overpower it.
I would use a high rye, older aged bourbon with a steak,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing with a cigar. Anything you put with this, you're going to lose the notes of this.
Oh yeah.
This is too soft. Now, for just sitting around having fun, enjoying a snifter of it, it's great. It's sweet. It's got the vanilla. It has the caramelly note, but then you get a little breadiness to it, but it's really light in the background. There's hardly any finish. I mean, there's a little finish, but there's not any pepper or anything like that in it. This is just like a really soft. If someone said, I don't know if I like whiskey, I would give them this. And if they turn their nose up at this, don't give them any of this other shit. Because it's going to burn.
So this is all wheat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wheaties, the breakfast of champions, right?
That's right. Yeah. Now that we have that, and I'm going to save a tiny bit of the Barenheim so I can go back to it, but I'm going to go to the 1792. Now, soft nose on this one too, but that's what you tend to get with the high wheat. Now there is over 51% corn in this.
This may. I don't know if it's because I had that first, but this may be even softer.
Yeah. Now you're going to get more on the palate with this.
Okay.
Right. And you'll get that old cankered. Well, I call it cankered. It's a buttery, that corn note.
That's what it is, buttery.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to get that. It's almost like, I don't know, the flavor. And that's why I don't really like 100% corn bourbons, because not even the white corn and stuff. I like some rye and other things in it, because that can overwhelm. But now it's really soft in the 1792. So they probably kept it below 70% corn. In the, I don't know the exact mash bill on the 1792.
Yeah, this one definitely has a little more fire to it.
Oh yeah, a little bit. And the age statements, by the way, the Barenheim is 7 years. I don't believe there is an age statement on the 1792, but it is a Kentucky Straight bourbon whiskey, which means it's over 2 years, and could be over 4, but they don't put an age statement on here. So I would, if I were guessing at this, I would say probably 3, based on the color and all, or a lighter char. I like Bullet for old fashioned, but I don't have an issue with it neat. Oh yeah, Bullet. I like the Bullet 10-year for neat, and if I have the Bullet red label, yeah, you can put a little simple syrup and an orange twist in it.
Yeah, this is a little stronger than that, but it's still good.
Yeah, and you get that. That's where you can really tell what you're getting from the corn, because basically these are the same exact thing. Apart from the aging and all, except for one of them has over 51% corn and the other one's all wheat. Because this one's pretty much wheat and corn, right? The corn is over. So if you go back to back with these, you will get that corn. You will be able to tell. So the notes you're picking up,
got it.
right?
I know what you're talking about.
Yep. Now, moving on from that.
It's got good legs.
Yeah, yeah. These are all really decent bourbons, or well, whiskeys. The first one's not a bourbon, and these other two are straight bourbon whiskeys. But the High Gold, like I said, 70% corn, 25% malted rye, and 5% malted barley. And Rabbit Hole's famous about malting all of their ryes. So they bring them just till they go to sprout, and then they stop that process, and it makes bolder flavors. But this is would be considered a higher rye bourbon. Again, soft nose on this too. But you can get some spice off the nose on this one. And we're not doing water in between. We're not, cleansing the palate. We're not waiting in between trying to sniff this one, that one, all that. But yeah, you can get more pepper out of this one. And there it is. Boy, that is good, isn't it? It's just an explosion of flavor, especially following those wheated ones. And man, that's got some good flavors to it. I love that. The way they balance it. I'm not a huge fan of Four Roses. I know Four Roses is like 36% rye. The single barrel, I'm not a big fan of it because I don't know if it's a strain of rye they use. I don't know if it's the distilling process. I just am not a big fan of Four Roses. But I am a big fan of higher rye bourbons. And when I was first getting started down the journey and everything, and I tried Four Roses, I for a little bit there, I was like, I don't really like rye whiskeys. Well, today I freaking love them. I just don't like that one, And some people swear by it, but it's a little rough around the edges. It's burns more, it's sharper. Some people equate that to like, oh, it's got a better finish. No, it just burns shit out of the back of your throat, But this one is a very gentle, soft, easy drinking higher rye bourbon. And I would not use this High Gold in an old fashioned, but I would use that's what I would use the Four Roses single barrel for, is to put a little simple sugar in it, put a little the orange twist, get some of that bite down, but keep those pepper notes, keep those spice notes, to it. I think it may work in that. But there's some bourbons that you just don't mix. Well, I don't. And can everyone hear us okay? We are trying something a little different. We only have 2 mics. So I put the lav mics down, one aiming one way, one aiming over this way. And I hope y'all can hear us okay. And if you can, just leave us a comment. Yeah, yeah. I don't have delay on. So. Oh, sounds good. All right, Sharp.
Cool. Thanks, Sharp.
Out of these 3, I love that I have my hands on a 1792 sweet wheat, and it has its place. And I love the flavors I get out of it. But that Rabbit Hole High Gold is the best thing we have poured.
It's great, yeah.
On this table. That's why I put it in the Bourbon Bounty logo glass. Yeah, and that's one thing you'll figure out about me. I always put the best one in the one that's got my logo on it.
Yeah, put your baby in the high chair.
Yeah, that's right.
Almost as good as
they all 3 good.
Yeah, they're all great. They're all great.
Almost as good as chicken cock.
Yeah.
And Bärenheim is a good one to have, and it's not that expensive. If you guys out there want to experiment, if you haven't had it, you can pretty readily find it wherever I've been searching. And it's a good to put beside a wheated bourbon.
How much a bottle is it about?
I think it's about 30.
That's not bad.
About $28 or something. It's not horrible. Where I've seen it. Now they can only charge MSRP here, so. But I wouldn't think it would be that high anywhere. It's not like a super well known. Yeah, they don't want to take the time to mix sugar and water. Yeah. Well, what's funny is I didn't either. That when we did our show, the mixers with the old fashioned and all. I spent $3 and something on sugar and water. I could have done it, because I wanted to just squeeze it. Yeah, it probably would have cost me 32 cents or something at max to make it.
Yeah. Did you watch that show? That mint julep was really good.
Probably missed that one.
Oh yeah, that was one of our.
One of the sip-alongs.
That was
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, and we
Yeah, that
did
mint
the,
julep, we made it from scratch, or you made it from scratch. It was excellent.
Oh yeah, and I went and bought like a muddler, so I could like look cool up here, with my tools. And I bought the little glass that had the ounce and a half on one side, 1 ounce on the other, but I still have the stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what, the more you sip on that rabbit hole, the better it gets.
Oh, that is a great distillery, great bourbon, great practices. Love Rabbit Hole. Yeah, and that one thing about Rabbit Hole is too, they distill at a lower proof, they barrel at a lower proof, and they try not to add very much water at all. So they don't call it barrel strength or cask strength or barrel proof, even though it about is. Now they will bring it down, like they'll shoot for like maybe 47.8 or 47.9 or whatever, and then bring it down to the 47.5 and add just a little bit of that limestone water as possible, but you're getting true notes from the barrel. It's just they don't barrel it at 125 proof.
Yeah.
And that's why it costs a little more, because they're not getting as many bottles out of the barrel, because if you're going to cut it with water and you have let's say a 300 bottle yield out of a barrel, and you're going to cut it almost in half, you're doubling how many bottles you're going to put out,
Tastes so good you could easily go down the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, it's good. But I'm going to save a little of the rabbit hole. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to walk through them one more time with the Bernheim.
All right, if we must.
Man, that is soft after that rabbit hole.
Well, it started out soft.
Yeah, but that is like even softer
You can't
now.
smell it
Nah. Yeah, that is super soft. Yeah, and just remember, there is absolutely no wheat in rabbit
It's
hole.
almost sweet.
Yeah, and that's why I like the rise. I think you're getting more of the there's still some sweetness from the wood sugars and all, but you're just getting spice notes. It depends on the rye strains and all that. All right, that was the Bernheim.
1792.
Yeah, this is a coveted bottle. I mean, it's good. I wouldn't go spend no $500 on it or anything, but I mean, I paid fair price for it. I paid she had it and I paid like $65, $70 for it, which is about right for the sweet wheat.
They are very near each other, except that's got it on the sweetness, mildness, and just about a little bit.
Yeah, and that 1792, you get a little more of that corn flavor.
Yeah.
That
Well, I've got a cousin. I live in Arkansas, and he said, "Don't bring me no Evan Williams," and that's bottom shelf bourbon, but I buy Evan Williams bottle and bond, and I like Evan Williams. Well, I looked it up one day and come to find out Evan Williams is like 80% corn.
Yeah, that's why
I guess the boy, my cousin, don't either.
Yeah.
He just don't bring me no Evan Williams. I want Jim Beam.
I have a Hudson baby bourbon up there, and that Hudson, they don't make it anymore. And I still have that bottle, and it's 100% corn.
Oh, Lord.
And then I have,
Try that.
yeah, you can try it. And I have then a Bright Lights Big Bourbon, which is the new Hudson bourbon, and it's 95% corn, 5% malted barley. So they put a little of the nuttiness in there to kind of offset, but it still has twangy strain of New York corn or whatever in it, you know. I don't. It's not my favorite. Now, Widow Jane, I'll drink that all night long. You can put that up against a bunch of stuff.
What
And
is that? Widow Jane?
Widow Jane, yeah, Widow Jane, aged 10 years. Boy, that stuff good.
Oh, I'm mad.
But yeah, RB said Evan Williams bottled and bond. Look at the freaking ants. I had Orkin come by. They sprayed all the baseboards. They said I have a rogue ant colony in my house.
We're two of them.
Yeah. They said the queen has died. And I said, well, how do you know all that shit? And he said, well, I can't find a trail. They're wandering aimlessly. You know.
The queen has been killed. Long live the king.
Well, he said give it 10 days.
He did.
He put some pretty potent stuff out.
Well, he told me every time he was coming in here to spray, he's like, he told me 4 times, we don't normally do this, but for you, he also like, burn that baseboard. Because if you don't, I'm about to get my flamethrower and come in here and get rid of the
Scorch some ants.
They are the teeniest, tiniest little freaking black ants, like teeny weeny. And
the ones that are pain in the butt.
yeah, I mean you can't even see them until they get like a
Right
foot.
here, yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, we moved from Texas and we brought fire ants with us. Of course, you box all your clothes and everything up. We brought them fire ants back to Arkansas, but when you buy a house in Arkansas, they've got to go in and treat it for termites, spray it down, everything. And evidently that stuff works because we had dead ants for 3 months after we moved in. You can't keep them things. And a lot of these were probably carpenter ants. They were about to,
Now those
they would have ate our,
RB knows what carpenter ants are.
yeah, they would have ate our little trailer house up out there if we hadn't had Orkin come in and spray
So
it.
let me tell you a story with RB over here. Okay. So RB had a house that inherited house, and I offered to help him. We were going to go in and we were going to get it ready to make it a rent house. And we were replacing a window in one of the bedrooms, and carpenter ants had gotten in and were eating, and we were replacing stud boards and, you know, all that junk. But we had to get that window out of there, and he was on the outside and I was on the inside. And we finally get that window loose and it pops out and he's pulling like this and all those fucking carpenter ants fell down on him. He stood up. He goes, better things. I got better fucking things I can do. And I'm sitting there trying not to laugh. And I'm like, yeah, them flying.
We also had some ants in Texas. Them things, I mean, a fire ant is like this. And those things were like this, big.
Big old
And
ant.
it was a mound of them right in the yard between Jody's shop and the fence.
Yeah, where the
that's
donkeys were. Yeah.
Well, no, that's where you put your first
Fire pit.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about between the shop and where the donkeys
Yeah,
were.
yeah. And we burned stuff and, you know, cardboard. We burned wood, old scraps for, I don't know,
No, what we had
3 or
was
4 months. And finally I decided, well, I'd take my tractor and scoop all this old burnt wood and ash and that. And them things are still alive down there.
Yeah.
And I scooped it up, I picked up a bunch of it and put it in the back of the Rhino and drove out to dump it. And them things got on me, and it felt like they were up in my pant leg, and it felt like somebody was sticking a lit cigarette to me. I couldn't wait to get out and start beating ants. Them some big old ants.
Yeah, they were big, and what we had was a piece of fencing with the rectangle. You know, they're soldered together. You know, and it's just like the rectangle fencing.
Mhm.
And I had a piece of it, and I made a loop with it, and we bent the wires together. So we had a circle of fence, and we would throw shit over in there and make a fire going, and then it would contain boards and stuff, and we could just throw baseboard pieces.
Right on
and
top of
just-
that ant bed.
Yeah, we built it right over and the hole for that ant hill was like that big around. I mean, it was huge.
I could see him sitting there roasting little teeny marshmallows.
Yeah, boy, they were down there. having a
Screw
good
you
time.
guys.
Yeah, we got I saw a couple of little ants upstairs. He sprayed though. He got it, and he sprayed the outside of the house down real good. I heard him out here spraying. He sprayed around all the windows outside and everything. So, I don't know. We pay all that money a month, and I'm like, shit. Yeah.
We may have to go through the same thing when we get back to Paris, Arkansas.
That damn sweet wheat is good though. Especially if you lay off that high gold for a little bit and go back to the sweet wheat, then you start getting the notes again. You know, and it is really good.
That rabbit hole is good.
Mhm. Now I have something special I bought today. It is a bourbon barrel aged ale. Paid $10 for like 12 ounces. And I want to get that thing out and we'll try just a taste of it.
75 cents an ounce, huh?
I guess. That's cheaper than marijuana, isn't it?
Not where I get it. Oh, I didn't say that. Sorry.
Mm.
I wouldn't know. I've never in my life bought any marijuana. Now, I'm not going to say I wouldn't, but they say if you have to have an operation or you have cancer and you take chemo and you're so sick you can't, you don't have any appetite or anything. I'm not going to say I won't.
It does help with the nausea.
Mhm.
Doesn't help with the pain.
My wife is 150% against it, and I already told her. I said, "Well, if something like that happens to me, and I get down sick, and I don't feel like eating, and
You
can
get
tell-
me some."
You can tell I love to eat, but yeah, but she don't have to get me some. I've got a lot of
He
friends.
knows I'm gonna grab this beer right quick because I wanna taste this.
Want to take a few of these? Let me take a few of these here. All right. Be right back, everybody.
Yeah, I have no friends, but I've got a lot of connections.
Oh man.
Is it cold?
I wanna pull out the bourbon cream.
Oh, bourbon cream.
Now, this is your chaser.
I was told I would love this bourbon cream.
Now this is the chaser because Big Daddy H is not gonna like this beer. So we got a chaser here.
Oh, I'm not gonna like it.
You're not gonna like it.
Yeah, I'm a simple man when it comes to beer. I don't care too much for imports and exports and all them kind of ports, but I love me some Miller Lite. I mean, I used to drink Busch Light. I tried to stay on the light beer because of the calories, but anyway.
We'll settle these other glasses out later. We got a big enough a table. We can handle it all. All right. Now this comes in a box. This is Firestone 2021 Kentucky Mule Vintage number 01. Vintage. It's 2021. It's not vintage. So, bourbon barrel aged blended ale with ginger and lime peel. It's got a boxing bear on the side of it there, and that's the front. So let's go ahead and pop this thing open. And it does have bourbon barrel aged on the thing. So this is a bourbon channel. Even though this
Does
is,
it tell how long it's aged in bourbon barrels?
oh my goodness. It's a little dinky 11.8 ounces. So you don't have to drink that much of it. Can you grab one of them bottle openers over there? I didn't think to do
I don't know
that.
if that's a twist cap or not.
It's not.
Your cheaper beers are twist cap.
But I bought it because it came in this
Well,
cardboard
I
box.
shouldn't say that because Michelob Light, Michelob Ultra, they're not your cheaper beers. But
All right. Firestone Walker Brewing Company.
oh, it's got
Bottle
rubber.
opener.
Okay.
May have
It
some,
was.
may have some rubber in there. Firestone tires,
20 IBUs. It's a British ale. I don't know what these are. I'm not a beer guy. I don't know what OG 27P is.
I don't either. And how in the hell do they know where Kentucky is over there in Britain?
500. There were 500 cases produced. The color is a 30 SRM.
So 27 people tried it and said, "Oh, gee."
Oh, you grabbed a good one. Look,
Oh, gee.
he got my little devil thing, and he got a little star butthole on the back. All right,
It'd be cool
all right.
to
So
make cigar cutters like that.
Is that a cigar cutter too?
No,
there's that.
no, it's not. But
There's that.
Well, let's shake these around, do we?
There's that. Now, one thing I didn't look. No, we don't shake these around. Oh, it's 11.8% alcohol by volume.
oh,
So it's almost 12%. Now we've been drinking 40-something percent. Just sip on it like it's woo wee, that smells good.
You may have raised a good point a while ago when you said Big Daddy H ain't gonna like it.
Oh my God, that smells good.
It better taste better than it smells.
Oh, I think it smells gorgeous.
chocolatey.
Oh, it is. Oh, and that ginger's coming through.
Oh yeah, the ginger.
The ginger. I told you wasn't gonna like it. Now, if you finish that, I'll get you some bourbon cream in there.
I'll do that.
All right. Oh, yeah, you ain't done yet. All right. Now, I'm going to get Big Daddy H some bourbon cream. This is from Buffalo Trace Distillery.
That's not as bad as some I have had, but
That shit's good.
I don't know. I'm talking about that beer.
I know the beer. I know.
Now,
Bourbon cream is good.
you sip on
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That'll get the flavor out your mouth there. That's like a milkshake.
Oh, yeah. Your mama like that.
I
That's not
know. That's like vanilla bourbon goodness.
Oh, that's a glorious eggnog there.
Mm. Man, I really, really like that. That is awesome. Good Lord. There's no wonder it was $10 for that little old bottle.
I like it.
Mm.
It tastes okay, but I don't think I'd buy it again.
Oh my God. Well, then I'm drinking the rest of this. That is fantastic. Vanessa Kitty, how's it going? We are at 6:48 right now. The after party will start as soon as we're done here. But we are trying. So we went through wheated bourbon, well, a straight wheat whiskey, a wheated bourbon, and then a bourbon that had no wheat in it. That was what our journey was today. This one here, Vanessa Kitty, is Firestone Walker. It's called Kentucky Mule, and it is a bourbon barrel aged blended ale with ginger and lime peel, and it is fantastic. I love it.
Or you can put that in a baby bottle and they just lay there and suck.
You could. He like Big Daddy H. He drinking bourbon cream after finishing a little snip of that Kentucky.
Had to get
Mule.
that taste out of my mouth.
Now, aren't you glad I brought that bourbon cream over here?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I am.
Now I'm gonna pour.
I love this.
I'm gonna pour Dixie some.
Yes, that's good stuff.
Let me grab another snifter over here. I'm gonna give her some of this. I'll be right back. And she can act like she's drinking bourbon.
Yeah, that get any kind of taste out of your mouth right there. That is good stuff. Candy bourbon. That's good.
Yeah, we had this before. Very good. Except they don't know if this stuff's hard to get or not. I think he said it was kind of hard to get.
Really? Bourbon cream?
Yeah.
I guess you could go out and get you a good eggnog.
Yeah.
That's what that reminds me of. It's sure good. It's got coffee in it.
All right, so Dixie's in the other room in there. And the bourbon cream has been Dixie approved.
Oh, she tasted it?
Oh, yeah. She said the fumes kind of came back out of her nose a little bit, but it was so creamy.
Same thing happens with that wasabi. So.
Oh, wasabi.
I love wasabi.
Yeah, me too. I used to have wasabi mayonnaise, but I can't find it.
Now, this bourbon
They
cream,
make a wasabi mayonnaise?
Yeah, in California.
Oh,
now this bourbon cream is only 15% alcohol, 30 proof.
that's fine.
Now, but like this beer is 12%, right? And none of us drank a whole bottle of it,
No.
right? And it's not even 12 ounces, so we're going to be okay. But this is higher than the beer, on.
What happens if you drink a whole bottle of that?
I don't know. You might get snookered. I don't know.
It's good enough to drink the whole
I think I could manage. I would not want to drink enough of that to get sick.
bottle. Right. Yeah,
God
you would-
damn, that's too sweet. I mean, you'd be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Joe, you ever drank any of those butter shots?
Oh,
Butterscotch
Carolina
schnapps.
Yeah, I have.
It's very low in alcohol.
probably about like that.
Yeah, probably 15%.
Yeah.
And I had a great big jug of it one night. And I was out the deer camp. And we had strung lights all up around our campers, and we had a generator, and we had everything lit up and had a good fire going. And I was drinking mostly beer, but now there's some things that goes real good with beer. And I think probably in those days I was drinking Busch Light, and I drank a can of Busch Light, and I'd go over and get that big old bottle of butter shots up and get me a big drink of it, and set it down. And, well, my nephew had went out with a lawnmower and mowed the yard all out between the campers, and his little stub sticking up. And I kept tripping over one of them stubs, and I told him, I said, I'm gonna have to find that stub, break it up. And he said, yeah, I know that stub you're tripping over is that brown bottle. Oh, we had some fun growing up.
Oh yeah, RB. That's one thing that they suggest from Buffalo Trace is if you want it stronger, to use like Buffalo Trace, right, whiskey, and add to the bourbon cream as a mixer.
Oh, wouldn't that be good?
Well, it would, but not for Mom. Mom
No.
likes it like this, right? And if you want one with a little buff in it, I got some right there behind you.
We'll talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have an after party coming up.
I kind of want to get in on a little bit of that.
Yeah, boy, this beer is fantastic. I know you didn't like. I knew you wouldn't like it because all you
I like a blonde beer,
Pilsner,
Pilsner,
lager, yeah,
and the initials is Miller Lite.
yeah.
That's about the only kind of beer I like.
It's spelled M-I-L-R Light.
I've got to worry if I drank Anheuser-Busch stuff.
Rice beer.
Oh, that turned up.
You should let him try some of that
Jackhammer
empathy.
I think I drank it.
We did, yeah.
Yeah,
That's just really good.
I couldn't leave it alone.
I know, it's really good. So I'll bring some more over.
What is it?
It's called Severe Empathy or
Something like that. It was a good summer. Like it was a real crisp, light, like a light Pilsner. Yeah, it was really good though. All right,
Good.
6:54. I'm trying to watch that clock because I can be early on the after party. I can't be late.
Me and you were, we were visiting you in Carrollton. And we went over to Humperdinck's.
Oh,
little
Humperdinck's.
microbrewery thing. And they
RB, you remember Humperdinck's?
anyway, they brought me out 3 samples. One was black, one was brown, and one was blonde. And I settled on
On the blonde.
Yeah, they called it a blondie, but boy, we drank some beer that day. But
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got them cheap too because I was a member at Humperdinck's,
Yeah,
and I had like the mug club, you know, and I would get beer for like $1 for like 16 ounces.
Wow.
Yeah, because I had the mug, you know, and they were giving him the same deal I was getting off my mug. They said,
I was
"Oh, here's
taking it.
here's a mug. You know, you invite a friend, you know, as a member." And they didn't like write his name on it. Like mine had my name and all that shit on it. But yeah, they set him up a mug. And what's up, Thomas?
Hey, Thomas.
Well, I couldn't hardly join anything like that living back there.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't done because I mean I paid so much for the mug, so much for whatever, and what it was I paid like I don't know 100 something bucks, but the only way you come out good is if you drink there all the time, you know. Then you get like these dollar pours, and if you do the math on well how many beer do I have to drink to make up for my membership fee, you know, and all that type of stuff, I made out like a bandit. I'll tell you that. Because I went in, I killed it.
Yeah, that's kind of like the Elks. Pay $100 a year, and you go in and get cheap beer.
Yeah.
Well, we
And
drank beer that day till I ashamed myself. When we checked out, I think what $10, $12.
oh, it was
And then
cheap.
he put a good tip on there. But
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
said, "What? You mean that's all that was?"
I know he's pulling his wallet out trying to throw a 20. I'm like, dude, it's not even that.
I knew I had drank at least $20.
What I should have said was that'll cover
Yeah.
a third of it. All right.
That's for another show, right? Cheap drinking.
Cheap drinking. Well, and I used to go to cheap bars without cheap booze. The cheapest bars have the most expensive booze. I mean, I went to like Scooters, and RB knows what I'm talking about. It's shut down now. Boy, there was a dive hole. I'm talking about a dive hole. And yeah, the clientele wasn't always the best, you know. And
There's a cockroach sitting on the bar stool next to you.
well, sort of. But they kept it clean and everything. It was like they tried to do everything, and they had karaoke and DJs and pool tables and dartboards. But it was just, I don't know, man.
CW, no.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, CWs and all that. And
I want to go to one of those axe throwing places.
JTEs, CWs, all the good acronyms. Yeah. And if y'all don't know what that is, bring it up in the after party. I'll tell you. Yeah. I'm not here. We'll put the TVMA up, and I'll tell you what all that means. But yeah, it's 6:58 now. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Fulton, are you here? Fulton was here earlier, and if he doesn't chime in, he's going to miss out. Fulton was my first member to my channel. First member. And I am going to do some things a little special for Fulton. And I told Fulton that he could run one of my after party streams for 20 minutes. I'll put him in the top left. It's all about whatever Fulton wants to do. If he's not here, it won't be tonight. But we'll work it out. And
Fulton, you're here, right?
He said Scooters was a barfly magnet discount for missing teeth. Boy, some of them women didn't pay for shit. But you were never in any danger.
The girls always get prettier at closing time.
That's that straight tequila night.
Hope it don't make that clothes fall off.
Well, the thing is, though, you would need like moonshine in a place like that. You know, I mean, I will save it for the after party. I'll let you know some stuff
At the
But
country western bar I used to drink at, I used to get shots of tequila every hour, follow that with a beer.
Yeah.
And
mhm.
the women got to look better, but I guess I never did.
Yeah,
Guess the women weren't drinking as much as I was.
you have to buy them a shot of tequila every hour.
Yeah.
And make them drink it.
Oh,
Pour it down.
STD danger. Yeah, probably so. There, we're getting a little risque. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to switch this over to the after party, guys. I know I have it scheduled for 7:15, but I can always start it early. I can't start it late. So we're going to sign off on here. And
Okay, everybody, have a
hope-
good Saturday night. I'm gonna take off for just a second.
he's got to go medicate his dog,
Got to medicate my dog.
and Big Daddy H and I'll keep this going for a
I'll be
little
back
bit.
on.
And I'll, in the next 5 minutes, give me a minute. I've got to shut this down. I'm going to get the link posted. I'm going to get, and anyone can come up on the after party. But thanks for hanging out. Hope to see you over at the after party.
Take care, everybody.